Hello again. Now, our next guest this evening is a TV comedy writer who has worked with some of the biggest names in entertainment, from chat show legends like, yes, David Letterman, Jimmy Kimmel and Tina Fey, to worldwide sitcom classics like Everybody Loves Raymond, one of my favourites. Adam Lorenzo joins me from Los Angeles. Adam, hello there. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. How are you?
Awesome. It's awesome to be here.
You are totally awesome.
Me be on the show.
I know I'm going to have an accent by the end of this interview. Your accent is so class. So listen, you've been working with the best, writing for the best, and now you have your own book, All I Needed to Know I Learned from My College Bar. Life's going pretty well for you.
Feeling fortunate, feeling blessed. That's right.
Tell us a little bit about the book then.
The book, it's a funny book. It's a funny book. All I Need to Know I Learned from My College Bar, based on my life before I became a writer. I owned a college bar while I was in college. So each page has a life lesson on it that I learned in that cathedral of knowledge known as a college bar, and an illustration.
Totally awesome. And you see, I've got your accent already. Now, I worked in a college bar when I was at uni, but I don't think my experience was as good as yours. But anyhow, let's talk a bit more serious. You started out, you moved from owning your own bar to writing for these incredible stars like David Letterman. How does that happen?
You make it sound easy. It wasn't.
No.
It's a lot of work, and and a lot of taking risks. And a whole lot of praying. So that, I started to send jokes to Letterman.
Yeah.
And that's how I got my first staff writing job. And their company moved me out here and put me on the Late Late Show. And I've been, hustling and writing and ever since.
It's such an amazing story, your life. I love it. So you went then from writing these, being a staff writer on shows like that, to then going, hold on a minute, I want to be a proper writer. And you ended up working on Everybody Loves Raymond, one of my favourite shows. It's a staple in our house. How did that happen?
Yeah, thank you for saying that. And I feel very fortunate to have that be my first sitcom credit too. It is a crazy story. It's a wild story. It was just being in Los Angeles, trying to get into sitcom, going from late night TV talk shows into that world. And, I gave a script to a barber who happened to know a nun that I knew from back east. Yeah, I'm not kidding. It was unbelievable. And that barber gave a script of mine to the producer, and it was an unbelievable story, but it got me into pitch, and that ended up being my first sitcom sale of an episode called Crazy Chin. And, I got to write with the best writers in the world. That show was created by Phil Rosenthal, who's, he has that new show on Netflix. I don't know if you get it out there.
Yeah. Listen, the thing I love about your work is you mentioned there about the chin stuff, because I remember seeing that because I know you had OCD yourself. So at some point of the chin things, I remember seeing that on one of your podcasts. And so you really write from the heart. So taking that a step further, you now do these talks for Cinemagic, which is really important to us over here. The children get so much out of it. It must be brilliant for them to have someone like you keeping it real.
Thank you for saying that. I really do believe the stories that are most personal are most universal. And that was a very personal story about OCD as I had as a kid. And I love talking to the kids at Cinemagic. Cinemagic is such a special organization. Joan, the whole gang there. And I just shared that at the masterclass this week. I told them about when I was a kid, I had this OCD, and I turned, there's a phrase that I love called, you turn your scars into stars.
Oh, that's lovely.
And I took that pain, that embarrassment from that, and turned it into I got lucky and had the gift of funny, and turned it into a story. So people didn't feel so alone with that. I've gotten a lot of feedback from that episode.
I bet
everybody has something.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And I knew there was something special behind it. It's so great talking to you today. The kids at Cinemagic are going to love it. And I've had a good flick through your book, and I can't wait to see it again. I suppose I want to give the last 10 seconds to you. Are you loving this book?
I'm having so much fun. It's my first book. I wrote it from the heart. It's getting such a great response.
Okay.
So it means so much to me that you had me on to talk. Thank
Adam,
you so much.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye to LA. Gosh, it's all glamour here, isn't it? Don't you just love it? Thank you.